Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Yonex E-Zone 98 Plus. Yonex continues the evolution of the E-Zone 98 Plus with this latest version. Yonex's 2G NAM speed has been added to the graphite layup, resulting in improved ball pocketing and better feedback. With massive power and serves and ground strokes, this latest E-Zone 98 Plus also impresses with both precision and spin. We found an average strung weight of right around 11.4 ounces, a 333 swing weight, and a 64 RA flex. This is a racket that's near and dear to my heart because I used the DR 98 Plus back in the day, so super looking forward to getting out on court with this one. Brings a ton of power, really love serving with it. When I had room to move around and hit the ball, I could really unwind on my ground strokes, get that effortless power. So lots of pace, lots of spin, lots of depth on my shots. And then when I was defending too, even on a block shot, found I could still punch that ball nice and deep, so that was fun. Found it very precise feeling at net. Obviously, with the longer length, you got to give yourself just a little bit more room on the volley, but really not an issue. The one issue where the length was there for me was when I was coming inside the court, and sometimes I was just overhitting a little bit on my approach shots, but that's something I would dial in with more time with the racket. But for me, like big serves, getting into net as fast as I can, putting away a volley or overhead is the way to go with this racket. Really enjoyed it.
As always, I'm excited to sing the praises about extended length frames. This E-Zone 98 Plus may be one of my favorite extended frames at this point, and the differences that I found between the others, simultaneously we were playing with the E-Zone 98 Tour, so we've got two examples of those, and the prior E-Zone 98 Plus. So the biggest difference for me was a rather small one. They've added about a 0.5 millimeter of beam width on the cross section, so it did make it a little firmer, giving me a little bit more put away power, a little bit more stability, not quite as soft as the prior issues, but overall just a very controllable amount of power. As Chris mentioned, you're getting a little more precision exploitation off a 98 instead of 100, so I felt like this was a little more in my wheelhouse compared to the 100. Overall, just a fantastic racket, great play test for an all-court player.
Like the other play testers, pretty excited to get out on the court with this update to the E-Zone 98 Plus. Looking for a racket, hopefully the one I can switch into, and I think I found it. I've been using the previous version for quite a while now, the 2020 and the 2018, and I think going from the previous version, 2020, to this one, it's a really easy transition. Specs haven't really changed much at all. Kind of what Mark was talking about, the stiffness is pretty similar, but I felt like the update with a slightly thicker beam, 0.5 millimeter, can barely tell, but gives it a little bit more stability, maybe even just a little bit more punch, but I feel like the dampening's still really good. So that's what kind of draws me to this racket compared to the VCore 98 Plus, is just that little bit of added comfort, keeps my arm feeling really good while I'm hitting on the court. So I love this racket from all areas. Maybe not the most maneuverable for most players out there, but really like how it swings from the baseline. I can hit a big serve up at net, very solid and stable. I feel pretty well connected to the ball. And one thing I like to do with my rackets, these 305 grams, I like to tail weight them up quite a bit to get them more head light. But other than that, really dialed in, like the look of it, and pretty impressed overall.
As the other playtesters said already, this is an absolutely amazing racket to hit with, super fun play test. The biggest thing that I noticed from the very first hit was how plush and responsive that string bed was compared to previous versions. There's not a whole lot of change, but that was noticeable. It felt amazing at contact. I also tested the 100 Plus, so it was fun to hit these side by side, but that 100 Plus was a little demanding, and I tended to overhit with that one a bunch from the baseline, so I appreciated a little bit more control and precision with this 98 Plus. And I'll say, similar to the 100 Plus, this is absolutely awesome to hit serves with. I found I could bomb big first serves, but I also had great access to spin. At net, it's very stable. Really nothing to complain about with this racket, and love this play test. So all in all, super fun extended length racket. We play tested this racket with a variety of different strings, but today you're gonna see it strung up with Yonex Polytour Rev, combined with Yonex Polytour Strike, and a Poly-Poly hybrid at 52 pounds. To learn more about this racket and many others, please visit us at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.